Welcome to the Lengthy Lads podcast, the ultimate destination for all things EAFC 24 and real life football. Hosted by the dynamic trio of Annoying Mouse, Average EAFC Player and Birty. Get ready to dive into the world of virtual pitches and real life stadiums as we explore the highs, the lows and the endless excitement of football. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or a die-hard football fanatic, this is the podcast where the beautiful game really comes to life. So grab your controller, lace up your boots and join us for a lively conversation that's sure to score big. Let's get lengthy.
Yes, let's get lengthy. Welcome to your new EA Sports FC and football podcast run by three mates from the Ultimate Team community. Me, the average FC player, formerly known as the average FIFA player, or Ryan to you lot and the two people sat in front of me. Annoying Mouse, the graphical genius and let's say the brains of the operation. And the GOAT, the godfather of FC or FIFA and the community, Mr. 10K himself. It's Birty Foot, or as we will call him, Shane. So it's 8:20 p.m. Tuesday evening. Newcastle just drew to AC Milan. Leeds won at the weekend, so I'm buzzing. You two are happy because Liverpool got the 3 points. Game changers have the game, so I'm quite upset about it, really, and jealous. How are we, boys? What's going on?
Yeah, really good, mate, to be fair. Excited to get this lovely little new venture underway. I think there's a lot that we can bring to the community, I hope. But to be honest, we just talk a load of bullshit most of the time. So I'm sure everyone else will revel in our bullshit along with us.
Yeah, it's just an extension of our WhatsApp group chat, really, isn't it? So, Shane, how we doing, mate? You all good?
I'm good, mate. I'm all good. I'm exceptionally good when Liverpool win and Man U lose, so you can expect a lot of that from me.
Well, every single week, hopefully, if Man United are losing, I'll be happy. Right, let's get straight to it, boys. EA Sports Football Club 24. I'm buzzing. You're buzzing. And apart from sucking off Sorloth, what is the one thing that you boys are looking forward to most over the course of this whole kind of new journey, new venture that we've got going on and the game itself?
Well, tickling his balls first. But to be honest, it was to see how the women compare in game. Quite excited for that. It's a new trial. I used to play it when I used to just play offline with my mates. Used to play the women's, normally USA versus Canada, and they're a lot of fun to play with. But now this Evolutions has come out. It's kind of taken all my focus, to be honest. It looks like there's a hell of a lot to do inside that mode. And it's something completely new, so it's always a bonus to have something new rather than just a stale same game. I just hope it continues on the way it's going to start, I hope.
Yeah, the evolutions thing intrigues me a lot as well, to be honest, but I just hope that they don't ruin it, because you need to be progressing these cards as the game goes on and they release OP cards in promos and stuff, because it'd be nice to be able to use players that they don't usually use. But yeah, I just hope they don't ruin it. But for me, I've got a learning curve this year because I played old gen a lot last year, and this year I'm going to stick to new gen.
No, you're not. That's all shit.
I will. I've got a lot to learn. I need to learn about lengthy and stuff because I've heard that's carrying on. So yeah, it's going to be a big test for me, this one.
Well, I think if you're part of a podcast that is called The Lengthy Lads, you must be using lengthy players in your team.
Exactly.
Like if Sorloth isn't in our team at the start in every single one of our teams, then there's something
happen.
going wrong at there. You know, as a little homage to Mouse. I'm buzzing for the Evolutions thing. I think it's really cool. It kind of gives me like an Ultimate Team The Journey vibe. Just again, like you said, Shane, it has to be done well. It has to be done properly.
I just can't trust EA. It's very rare,
and that is why you're not a game changer.
I know. But yeah, I mean, it's just stuff like the moments and the what was the they had that thing, didn't they?
The events tab that just was non-existent last year.
It's just stuff like that. I hope it doesn't end up like that, basically.
Yeah, it needs to be something that's done throughout the whole game, throughout the whole cycle, not just kind of
Yes.
done a couple of times, everybody likes it, and then brushed under the carpet for the brand new thing that allows them to earn more money. Couple of things I've noticed just like straight away from watching a couple of the game changes. Shout out Wobbly Gamer for getting the game early, and I jumped in his stream a little bit early and had a look, and I was looking at Alzio's stream, and pack weight already seems ridiculous, like so low. I mean, Alzio spent what 20k FIFA points and didn't get anything above an 85 rated. Yes, I know it's 7.5k backs and whatnot, and it's early game, but that's pretty mental. So, advice, I mean, don't look at my Twitter because I'm gonna completely contradict what I said on my Twitter. But don't buy FIFA points. Don't be throwing money at this game if you don't need to. If you don't have the money to do it, don't do it. Just grind the game out naturally as much as you can and enjoy the gameplay. Gameplay is not something I've seen. I don't know if you guys have seen any of it.
I was looking earlier as well, and the milestone rewards to get some decent packs are nowhere near as hard now. Like the 500 goals is now 250. You get a 55k pack for 100 goals. 75 finesse goals gets you a 55k pack. So there's not even as many games to get like the major packs that you could at the start. So
yeah, so Friday night is sorted then. So that's what you're saying. Friday night, by the end of that.
Even in the season, like level 10, I think, is like a 1083 off the bat. So there's some decent packs already.
So
what you're saying, you're going to be saving for the first proper promo, or you're going to be ripping them open?
I always open as I go. I mean,
you don't
I'm 44 years old, and I plan on having an all-nighter on Thursday night. And I'm not ashamed to say it.
Sad little man. Right. What about like themes for your clubs? So I really want to run like a Willie Non-Toe to Glory, or incorporate some sort of Leeds players in there. Because last year I think it got stale quite early. I know Maush, you had a few weeks off. I had a few weeks off in the kind of middle of the season, just after Team of the Year. So I want to try and keep it relevant and keep it fun and interesting whilst I'm playing. But what about you guys? What are you thinking?
Well, it should come to no one's surprise that I'm running a Sorloth to Glory this year. I mean, I'm kind of banking on it being a decent, lengthy start, to be honest. But with the evolutions now that he's available to be done straight off the bat, it's kind of changed it immediately for me. So it's given me real hope, because I can get him to an 81 pretty much straight away. It then worries me, obviously, how long it takes to then go back above that. That does concern me a little bit, that how long is it going to take, then you can then reuse him. But someone did say a point earlier, actually, about Team of the Weeks, is you might grind for these players and then within a week they get a Team of the Week and you've got exactly the same card.
Yeah, the power curve
it could it could cause chaos. But yeah, mine's very firmly a Sorloth to Glory. It's called the Norge Invasion is what it's going to be called. So there's quite a few decent Norwegian players on this game, mixed within women and men. So I will be trying to get as many as possible. And there's some tasty ones as well. So
Shane, what do you reckon?
Well, I always run a Liverpool past and present anyway, so I'll have that alongside whatever I do. But I had an idea of kind of letting Twitter take control of mine.
Yes, you did.
I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work yet. But so basically, any icon picks, foot champs picks, I'll let the Twitter community choose who I choose, basically. So it could be interesting for me this year. Very interesting.
Yeah,
because I trust in them. Put it that way.
I think as a community, we're bastards.
Yeah.
So knowing that you like specific types of players, like you might like the nippy wingers, the agile players, people are just going to be throwing lengthy shit at you constantly. But hey, if you want to put your whole game, the whole game cycle in Twitter's hands, mate, you be my guest. But that ain't for me. I'd quite like to enjoy my time and make the most out of the £80 that I've spent on this game.
Yeah, I like to think my followers like me. So just if you're listening to this,
mate, you're the Godfather.
If you're listening to this, just help me out. Just help me out. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, too right. Or don't.
Don't. No, don't.
If you don't want
to.
In fact, yeah, don't. What about your the FC points 4,600, 4,800, whatever we're getting with the Ultimate Edition.
I'm going to do a few offline drafts first and try and blast out the milestone objectives on them. Whilst bringing in not the best of packs, but any pack at the start of the game, you need the players to do the advanced and stuff like that. So I'll be doing some offline to do them. I'll do a few online, but I'm for some reason not very good at them at all. And then I'll probably spend half of them on 7.5k packs just to see how my luck is this year.
Yeah, I think really similar. I think I'll probably do a couple of drafts just to get it underway, to get all those milestones done, and then it will just be 7.5k packs, and then probably with the 5,900 points that I put on, I'll keep opening packs of them as well.
How many offline drafts do you reckon it will take you to score the 250 goals?
Someone said about squad battles being, it's not even, at the minute it's showing at 6-minute games still.
The thing is, 4 minutes, all right, it's better, but it's not when you're doing this. You need them longer because you can get into a rhythm and keep going. So I think offline drafts are one, because you get something back from it immediately.
Yeah, I think 2. I think I'll have to do 2 offline to get them done.
Knowing me, I'll fall asleep or something, and I'll have to do it in about 8. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to the gameplay. I actually really enjoyed the beta. I know you guys didn't get a code, so fuck you. And I was obviously away on holiday, so I only had 2 days of playing the beta, but I really, really enjoyed it. But the problem is, I seem to get this same vibe every single year. The beta is really, really good. You get the game, and then it's completely fucking different. So that for me is something that frustrates the hell out of me. One thing I will say though, I forgot to mention, the menus look so smooth.
Yeah,
the menus look so smooth. Very, very FIFA mobile, but yeah, really looking forward to just be. Hopefully, they're as smooth as they should be on new gen, and not as laggy as they were this year.
But I think my main annoyance is they haven't changed the squad screen. I saw someone look at the squad; it just looks the same, which I thought we'd have had something a little bit. I don't know. I thought they might have jazzed it up a little bit more than they have, to be honest. But
they did. They didn't employ you, mate. If they'd have employed you, they'd have
sorted out.
Okay. What about players that you want to be using? Obviously, we've got Sorloth, and you don't have to mention him in every breath. But what players, or maybe type of players, do you want to be using? For me, and this will go in tie in hand with the one of the final questions, but we might as well go for it now. I'm actually really, really looking forward to using some of the women, and using the beta. My first thought was the meta is going to be nippy wingers, no pun intended, don't be a dick. Nippy wingers, short, agile, whipping crosses in, early cross play style, in order to hit those lengthy forwards and score headers and bice's and volleys and everything that you're thinking of in that sense. And I've really, really enjoyed that. I thought that was class. So that would be what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and incorporate the smaller, more agile wingers and maybe use a 4-3-3 formation with a big person up top.
That's fair. I think I'll probably carry on with the big men up top. I think, like you said, with having nippy wingers, I think that does look like the plan. A lot of people I've seen with crossing that you need to manually defend crosses. If you don't anticipate the curve, you're screwed with a cross. So there is one player actually, Lukaku. I've just having a look at now, putting a shadow on him. I know it sounds mental, but it's just to get the heading accuracy up, unless there's something else better that gets the heading up, because he's 93 jumping, 95 strength, and that would shadow would take him to 91 heading. So, and that's with 94 sprint speed. So he looks a monster.
This is an anchor on Cantona.
It is, but it's to the next.
Shadow on Lukaku.
Unless anything else brings him up higher on. Well, you need the pace though, so I think it'd have to be a shadow. I think because you won't get enough otherwise. But yeah, I think a shadow on Lukaku will be the one.
I think you're mad, Shane.
For me, I'm looking at these evolutions and this pated protector, and I'm finally seeing a Joel Matip card that I can use. To be honest,
good shot.
Even his player of the month the other year was dreadful because he had about 60 pace. But after these 2 evolutions, his pace 76, physical 82. It looks like a great start centre back, and you'd be pleased to know that he is lengthy as well. I'm not sure what that means
Love
yet,
that.
but I will learn.
For you two especially, I don't think you can look further than Darwin. With Darwin Núñez, his card looks incredible again. Apart from the 3-star, but early game last year, I absolutely loved him. His ones to watch card again was a kind of stalwart on my team for probably, I think he played 350 games, and that for me is one that I'm very, very much looking forward to using and trying to get him early game. That'd be the one.
I think he would be if it wasn't the toss up between him and Sorloth at the start with the striker position. I think it probably would be Darwin, but there's no
Don't you play 4-2-4 anyway?
do one,
so you can have them both.
Ever like to evolve them. I think there's only one striker at start, can't you? So.
Yeah. I'll just use him. I'll use his base.
Yeah.
I've just had a complete mind blank and assumed that these players would already be in my club. I forgot I had to pack them first.
I wouldn't worry if you're.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You'll have a full squad in a day anyway. It'll be fine.
Yeah, do right. So, what about strict RTGs? Are you going to be doing strict RTGs? Are you going to be throwing FIFA points at it? No, wait, FC points. Can't get that wrong. FC points at it. What's the plan? Obviously, Marsh, you've just said like 5,000.
Yeah.
You chuck 5,900 on straight away.
Yeah, so that's gone. I think I want to do it just to get off the bat because the fact that there's no. This is really a shitty thing to say, but because there's no welcome backpacks and shit like that, I don't want to struggle straight off the bat. I'd rather just get going, get Sorloth, get him in, get him done, and then I can then start concentrating on the game from there. But I'd rather just get him in, get that done, get a team, to get going.
What are your thoughts on that
what?
though? On your lack of welcome backpacks?
Yeah, you can't welcome. I can see you can't welcome someone back to a brand new game.
Exactly.
So I do get that, but it is a little bit. Why launch the web app tomorrow? There's 0 point. And the only thing is, like Shane said it earlier on Twitter, I saw that I reckon you'll be able to buy FC points tomorrow on the web app because you can't obviously buy them through Companion, but you can buy them through the web app. So that would be my shout, and whether they're going to let you carry them, whether it will pop up on the web app to say. Because it's been popping up after you've done your starter pack, I've noticed on the game. So whether you do your starter pack on the web app and it pops up and says, do you want to transfer your points? Because it's on the web app, it's not on the companion app. It's slightly different because the web app's got different rules, isn't it?
Yeah.
But don't forget, it was only last year they brought in that you could buy them on the web app. Now, was that done in motion for this game? Was that brought in so that they could implement it from the start?
I think most things they did last year were done with this game in mind, weren't they? So, like the 250 player packs and things like that. It's all test. It's all a test, and we were dumb enough to buy them. So
I 100% think that you'll be able to put FIFA FC points on tomorrow. I just can't. Otherwise, like you said, what is the point? There's no point of it.
It's 2 extra days for EA to earn a bit more cash.
Exactly,
isn't it?
And they know that people have.
And it's the most needed time.
Yeah, they know full well what they're doing. They're a business owner. They're clever. They know how to make money.
Yeah, bang on. What about anything else you guys have seen with regard to the game itself? With on Twitch and on YouTube and whatnot. Anything else you're excited to do? Is it just Ultimate Team that you guys are going to play? Like what do you fancy? I mean, I really want to play Pro Clubs. I know Shane says it all the time. I don't have time to play Pro Clubs. I don't have time, but I think a Lengthy Lads podcast Pro Clubs would be absolutely class.
I'd be up for playing it.
I agree. Yeah, I need to make time for it. Let's be honest. I need to make time because it's thoroughly enjoyable as well. It's a right laugh.
And the listeners can get involved in it as
well.
Yeah,
definitely. 100%.
Bang on. So that'd be really, really enjoyable. Career mode?
No, not for me.
It's not 2015.
No, not
for me.
Love a career mode.
It's just like playing squad battles. I just don't get it.
No, I always do a Leeds United career mode. First thing you do on it, straight on the Leeds United career mode. Play it for about a day, and then go. This is shit. I'm going back to Ultimate Team. But it's always nice to take your team back to the promised land.
You'll be back there soon.
I bloody doubt it, mate.
I've never played Volta. I could not tell you what you have to do on that.
Nah, no idea.
Nah, I haven't opened Vault, I don't think.
But I know you can spend FC points on that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, well, it's Typical EA Sports.
So, obviously, the one thing I do want to go through, the new thing that obviously is inside the game is women this year. There's a lot of nonsense that goes on around Twitter. I mean, I think I've made my stance pretty clear on it already on Twitter and everything like that. That I'm more than happy to have them in the game. Brings another dynamic to the game. Means we're going to get to use some different players. Last year was one of the best years I've had on FIFA because I could use different players. I wasn't stuck to using the same players. You know, you didn't go into every game and see Mendy, Kimpembe, fucking Varane and Walker. You didn't, you know, it didn't exist. So it was nice to have that, you know, come Christmas time. Yeah, all right, they moved the curve way too quick, but you didn't see that same goal defence the whole year. So from my standpoint, I think women's a great idea. But what about you boys?
It doesn't.
Yeah, I'm sound with it.
It doesn't bother me at all. I don't know why people seem so offended by it. Like, if you don't want to use them, then don't use them. It's no. But people are saying like, oh, they're not that. Why are they as good as this men's player? Blah blah. But they've got to juice them. Otherwise, there's pointless putting them in the game if they're not as equal to some of the other cards in it.
Yeah, I think people forget that it's a completely different roster of players. So, you know, as Mbappe, well, I don't know what Mbappe's rated in this game, but if Mbappe's a 91 rated player and let's call him the best player in the world, not that I'm going to say he's the best player in the world, but for argument's sake, he's the best player in the world, then the best female player in the world, why wouldn't they be 91 rated?
They've got to match it up. They have to.
I'm looking forward to using people like Sam Kerr and Lauren Hemp and maybe like getting some of the Lionesses involved in the team if possible. And, you know, as we've said previously, Mouse, we're not particular believers in chemistry. No. So I just want to throw as many different players in the team as much as I can. As long as they're in the right position, that's the only thing that really worries me. So chuck them in the right position and just try out a load of new players and stop being so stingy and stubborn with players I actually love and actually, you know, try to use some different people. You know, I stuck to World Cup icon Hernandez for a hell of a long time. And he was 88 rated and so far below the curve. But for me, I absolutely loved him. But, you know, do I regret that? Slightly, because there were so many other strikers that came in that I could have been using and trying out. So having a brand new roster of players is fantastic. Why wouldn't you be all for it?
Yeah, that's absolutely bang on. You know, I've banged on at length about not having to use chemistry in your teams. I mean, at this point of the year, when it's all gold cards, you know, yeah, right, you'll notice a bit of a difference, but you're going to get way more from using players that you enjoy, that fit your play style, that, you know, that just going to sit in your team. You know, brick slot is useless because you're just wasting a space and you're wasting a substitution that, you know, potentially you've got other players you can bring on later in a game to actually get a result. But, you know, pausing from the start to change 4 of your team is just absolutely pointless. So please, just get out there and use some different players and new players. If you pack a good player, don't sit there and go, oh, I can't get them in my team. They can't get Kem. Just put them in your team. Bollocks to it. Throw them in there. Worst case scenario, put a manager in the same league in there. Gives them 1 Kem.
Worst case scenario, they're shite. Take them out. Put them in an SBC. Pack somebody probably worse, to be honest. But in Shane's case, pack somebody fucking incredible.
Just pack Pele.
Use them instead.
Right.
Exactly.
So one thing I do want to know from you boys, formations. So it's a big thing with tactics on Twitter. We see it all the time. What are you boys going to start out with this year?
4-3-3, mate. Always start with a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Usually get overrun in the midfield. Don't know why. It happens all the time. Tactics don't seem to help. So I'll start with a 4-3-3. 1 striker or a centre forward. See what it's like. See who I've got in my my starter squad and stuff like that. And then go from there. We'll probably end up going to a 4-2-4 because that's the mouse formation and that's the one that I absolutely loved using last year. Will not be a 5 at the back rat until the end of the game when it doesn't really matter.
I'm going to be sticking with what I have the last 2 FIFAs, which is my 4-2-2-2. I cannot play with one striker. I tried it numerous times with different formations, and I just can't get it to work. I have to have two up front. So for me, the 4-2-2 is the perfect balance. So I'll be
That's
sticking with
fair. I
that.
did try it towards the end of the last game, and it did, and I had pretty good success with it, to be honest. I'll probably start the same way I started the last one, and I'll go 4-4-2. I mean, the only reason I changed to the 4-2-4 is because I didn't like how the wingers tucked on defense, and I just couldn't get out quick enough. So hence the 4-2-4. Yeah, it's only serial killers really play that formation because it's an absolute nightmare to use. But the rewards outweigh the nightmares. So yeah, we'll keep on going with the 4-4-2, but I wouldn't be surprised to see me switch out to a 4-2-4. I do love it.
3 days. I'll give you 3 days.
I'll take that.
3 days and you're straight in. Right. I think we've come to a part of the podcast that is something that people are going to enjoy, because there is an opportunity here to win some FIFA points.
FC points.
Thank you.
Just piss on his parade. Yeah?
FC points. That's fine. That's fine. So here's the deal. In order to win, how many FIFA points?
5,900.
You need to DM the podcast X/Twitter page, which the handle is at the Lengthy Lads, a 3-word phrase. In order to be entered into that giveaway, you've got to stick that phrase into a message, send it through, and we will be... Sorry, Shane has just put something up to the camera, and Man City are losing, so that's completely made me lose my trail of thought. So thanks for that. We'll just roll with it.
And don't forget to follow the page as well. That will be part of it as well.
Thank you. I was getting there, but Shane has just decided to fuck it up.
I'm amazed by that. It shocked me.
Just for everyone out there, that's what Shane does normally about 4 or 5 times a day in the group chat, is we'll be talking about something and he'll just whatever's in his head, bang, goes in the group chat.
Yeah.
I'm getting
older.
old.
Screams ADHD.
Yeah.
Shane screams ADHD. And I'm a teacher, I know. Anyway, 3-word phrase. You need this 3-word phrase to DM to the podcast page. You need to make sure you're following the podcast page. We're not even being horrible about it. You don't even have to follow us 3. It'd be great if you did, but just follow the podcast page and DM the words, the phrase, let's get lengthy. You will then be entered into the giveaway, and hopefully somebody we like will win 5,900 FIFA points. I'm gonna do it myself, just see if I win it, because that'd be hilarious.
Technically, we could enter it, but
I have got a burner account.
Yeah, it's called Bateson87. That's why.
Oh no, I can't enter. I blocked it.
Right, Shane, talk to me about the weekend.
You know what, mate? I watched our game, and I've watched every game we've played this year, and people are saying how well we're doing and stuff like that, which we are. But I'm not convinced by us yet at all. I don't think we've been anywhere near as good as people are saying. The first half against Wolves at the weekend was absolutely shocking, probably the worst I've seen us in a long time. And if it wasn't for them missing the chances they did, we wouldn't have even been able to get back into the game. But yeah, we seem so slow off the blocks at the minute. And I know we've got new players and stuff like that, and it's going to take time. But I've said it a long time now. When Klopp leaves, mate, we are in big trouble. Big trouble. I don't know what you think, man.
That's right. You can have Daniel Farker if you like.
Nah, I'm all right. I think I echo that. I don't think our midfield works. I know we've brought in a brand new midfield, but I don't think Slobber, it looks immense. Like he gives me very Gerrard vibes. Like absolutely.
He's unreal.
But McAllister at the weekend might be travel. You never know. He looked way off the pace. And then the third, I don't know. I just feel like we're lacking still. Gravenberch potentially to come in, but I just feel like we lack something. Like whenever Harvey Elliott comes on, we look like a different team, like a completely different team when he comes on. It's happened twice now this season already in 5 games. He looks, and for his age, I just give him a chance. I'm hoping, like we've spoken before, that in the Europa that we actually give these guys a chance. Because I think our DM is Bajcetic. I think will be the one who will take it on, but I don't think he's probably quite there. But then again, came in last season, he looked amazing at the beginning of the season. So I think there's a lot of promise there. But yeah, I'm with Shane. I don't think we're playing amazing. But to be honest, the only reason a lot of teams got in the top 4 last season is because us and Chelsea were so shit. It's as harsh as that sounds to some of these guys, but that's the reality.
It's just you look at the fixtures now in the Premier League, and you just every week you look at them and think, oh, not them, not them. There's just no easy games anymore. You have to be on it every week, otherwise
it's the same with the Championship, really.
Yeah, you've got to be on it because you'll just lose. There's two. You come off away from Villa and you think, oh, that's a good win. And then you got Wolves away, and then you got West Ham at home who are playing well at the minute. So it's not a banker. You just can't bank on any wins at the minute unless you play a loser.
I think you're right. But the problem is that I think City. So like with winning the league, City can win the league in third gear. I think that's the main issue. Is they could run at third gear and they win the league.
Well, they're in third gear now, aren't they? They're not playing to the best of their ability now. Like, I don't know if you watch Haaland, you watch the game or any of the highlights, but Erling Haaland's first touch against West Ham was just absolutely dreadful, and yet he still manages to score a class goal at the end to make it 3-1 and whatnot. But even him, one of the best strikers in the world, his first touch isn't quite there. They're not quite at the level that you would expect City to be. I know it's early in the season and everything, but I think people have to remember at the start of the season, there's always some sort of gelling period. There's always going to be one. Whether you're a Sunday League team or whether you're a Premier League team, there's still going to be some sort of gelling period. Liverpool, again, I'm completely unbiased because I don't give a shit what Liverpool do and whatever. But having bought in those players and having a brand new midfield, it's going to take a few matches in order for them to get to the level that you would expect of them. And I think people have to remember that football fans are so fickle and football fans are so entitled that people think that because they support Man United or because they support Man City, you deserve to win trophies and you deserve to win matches. That's just not the way football works. And there's a lot of arrogant football fans or ignorant football fans, in fact, out there that don't really understand how football works. And that should be the first thing, is you need to just be aware it's the start of the season. And Liverpool have got many, many games to go.
100%. I like to think that I'm not a biased Liverpool fan. If I don't think we've played well, then I'll say it. Like I don't think we've been that great this season at all. But we've got some good results out of it. But the thing with Man City as well, like we went 1-0 down at the weekend, and then they were still all over us, and you're thinking, I don't know how we're going to come back from this. But Man City go a goal down, and you just know they're going to get one or two. It's
depressing.
It's just like, we always slated like the German league, saying it had one team, two teams. The French league only has one team, and the Premier League is sadly becoming like that now because there's just nobody. For how we matched them with what we'd spent and stuff like that was just ridiculous. You can't compete with them. You just cannot compete with them.
They're just relentless, like absolutely relentless from start to finish. Like they don't let up.
Like that now they've just scored.
They just that's what I mean. They don't give up. They just keep going and going and going, which is it's a great trait to have in a football team.
Don't get me. They're an amazing team, but they should be for how much they've spent on it. They should be. It's expected.
So should Chelsea.
But I think there's a massive difference between City and Chelsea because City buy more players that they will turn than they won't go out and just like Chelsea have gone out and spent 100 million on a fucking silver left wing. Like, what on earth are you doing? Like, they'll City will go in and buy someone for 65 million, like Mahrez was. That's proven at that. That level, and then to then improve them again. So, their buying model's great. Yes, they spend a lot of money, but they go, they turn through the right sort of players. That's why they've been successful for the X amount of years because they're just, like we would, where same as my FIFA. I've got a team that works and I add bits into it as I go. But like someone like Chelsea is just shambolic that you can't go out and spend £1 billion in a year and a half and expect it to work. You can't even make that work on fucking Football Manager, let alone doing it in real life.
I do kind of hope they give Poch the time though, because as a gaffer, I do like him, and I kind of wish he'd gone back to Spurs just for that kind of fairy tale return.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, ruthless, isn't it? Premier League's ruthless. If they don't start winning, don't start picking up some points here and there, then unfortunately, they're just going to bin another manager off and get a new one in that is probably going to have the exact same thing happen to them. So, I mean, the only thing I can talk about is the Championship. I can't talk about Premier League too much. Callum Hudson-Odoi's goal yesterday was an absolute joke, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen it.
I think he's a great signing for them.
Oh, what a goal. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm, as a Leeds fan, people will not like Leeds doing well, and I completely understand it. Dirty Leeds and all that. But, 3-0 win against Millwall, difficult place to go to the Den and win 3-0. But I just can't see us doing anything this season. Next season, possibly, for us, it's not quite going as well as I thought it might at the start of the season. Got Hull away tomorrow, another really difficult one. Sunderland's another one. Sunderland look good. West Brom could beat anybody on their day. Watford could beat people on their day. Leicester absolutely fly in. Southampton don't look fantastic. That's another one that I was quite intrigued by.
Yeah, they're only a point above you, Southampton, aren't they? But they played a game, and they played a game more.
Middlesbrough.
The Championship's so tough. Like, you look at Middlesbrough last year,
crazy.
Flying, and they ain't even won yet. 7 games in.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
It's a tough league.
Shout out Neil Warnock, by the way, leaving Huddersfield tomorrow again.
Yeah, I seen that. I did see that.
One of the most iconic English football managers.
No, the Championship's a tough
league.
You just got you take any win you get in that league because it's so hard.
It's a slog, 42 games as well. It's a long old season as well, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, very much so.
Sorry.
Right, okay. To end, I want everybody's Premier League winners, Champions League winners, and Championship winners.
Christ.
So Championship winner, Premier League winner, and Champions League winner. And I will put a £1 accumulator on everybody's.
I'm going Man City,
and then if we win, I ain't sharing it.
That's no debate. I'm going Man City, and Leicester.
Oof.
I'm going...
I think Man City will win everything again.
I'm going Man City, Bayern Munich, Leicester.
No, I'm going to change it out because I'm not going to be boring. Man,
boring.
Yeah, Liverpool going to win the Prem. I'm being serious as well. I'm not going the same as you boys. Liverpool to win the Prem. Norwich to win the Championship.
Norwich, I love it.
And hold on. The beauty of Sky Sports. Let's go for Bayern Munich. Let's go for it.
I do think Bayern.
Yeah, it's like with Harry.
Yeah.
I think it's a good shout.
I said Bayern. I think Harry Kane's going to fire into a Champions League. Yeah. I think it'd be class.
I'm happy for him as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good move because he's not going to win it. No offense to Spurs fans, but he's not going to win a thing at Spurs, unfortunately, in the coming time.
Shout out Spurs Stadium though. Went on a stadium tour the other day on a school trip. I mean, what a class school trip! But it honestly blew me away. They've thought of absolutely everything. They've got 2 pitches, retractable pitches that go underneath the stands. They're building a state-of-the-art go-karting arena underneath one of the stands at the moment because they've got a Formula 1 sponsorship or partnership. They've got like a specialised autism room as well, so for when autistic children can go and watch the game. It's like a sensory room that is noise cancelling, and so they can watch it in that room and they still have the same kind of atmosphere, but they don't get as triggered by the noise, which again is amazing, absolutely amazing. So fair play to the people that built that stadium and had those ideas, because my word, it's gorgeous.
I'm a big fan of Ange.
However, Ange Ball.
I think he comes across really well and stuff in interviews. I'm not a massive Spurs fan, but I do like him. I think signing of Maddison is absolute class as well.
Yeah, he is unbelievable. He's a class footballer. Not quite sure why he's playing out left for England, but I'd be playing him in the middle if you ask me.
You have to ask
It's just-
Southgate that, mate.
yeah, ask Gareth.
We'll save
Right.
that.
One more thing just to end off. We're going to kind of hit the 45-minute ceiling in a few minutes' time, but I had a bit of let's say I was bored. I was bored the other day. Went onto Twitter. I was talking to Average G on Twitter. I put something and there were a couple of lengthy puns being flown around. And then I was listening to Peter Crouch's podcast. And Peter Crouch, in his podcast, came up with the Vagina 11. Now, I thought, seeing as though we are the lengthy lads, I'm wondering how many penis-based puns that are to do with footballers I could come up with. And you guys feel free to chime in whenever you like. Peter Crotch is one of the best ones that I've heard, and it's not on my list, so that's a good start.
I'm going to go with
Dixon Etuhu, like that. Not on my list, another one. So I've started with the obvious, Robin Koch. Left Leeds, on loan this year. Stupid bloke. Then I thought maybe we'll go a little bit older. Andy Johnson, that could be another one. Then I thought we'll go even further back to one of the West Ham legends, Julian Dix. Then I thought let's throw another one in. Current Wolves player, Hwang Hee-chan. Shane, you look like you got another one. Go on.
I've got an ex-Everton, Stephen Penis.
Stephen Penis, I've got to say, what a player. What a player Stephen Penis was, by the way. Unreal. Here's another one. What about David Goodwillie?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Out of nowhere. You could also go with Youssef Belender. Rigobert Schlong. Or Alex Schlong, whichever one you wanted to go for. You've got the two brothers that play for Newcastle United. Sean and Matty Longshaft. One of them's just made their Champions League debut. Congratulations to them. You've also got people like Big Willie Nonto.
What? Someone called Ralph Minge.
I don't know who that is.
We got the wrong way. I've got the wrong way.
Yes, there is that one.
I've left the lengthy behind.
You could go for Didier Undong, ex-Sunderland player. And I've got three more. The final one's my favourite. Rod Wallace.
Oh, Rod Wallace was a legend.
Lewis Junk. And my favourite one, which I've got to say, I didn't come up with this one. It was actually my dad. So fair play to my father. Eric Member. And that one, for me,
that is my favourite.
Is absolutely fantastic. So shout out my 60-year-old dad.
Yeah, that one's up there for me.
If anybody can come up with any others, please, comment on the podcast page. Send us a message. Got some more? We can start our next podcast with them. I don't mind, but thought it was funny. Seemed to be quite enjoyable.
Who doesn't love a dick joke?
I've just thought.
Who doesn't love a dick joke?
I've just thought the best one, Rod Fanner.
Well, there we go. And I think we should probably end it on that one.
Yeah.
We shall indeed. Well, it's been a pleasure. And I would just finally like to thank everyone for tuning in to the first episode of the Lengthy Lads podcast. We hope you've had a blast hearing our excitement for the upcoming EAFC 24 game and our unique takes on real-world football. If you share our passion for the beautiful game, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop us a 5-star rating, and leave a review on your favourite podcast platform. Your support fuels our enthusiasm. And as we wrap up, whether you're scoring goals in the virtual world or cheering your favourite football team, remember that football brings us all together in the most thrilling way. Until our next adventure, keep the passion alive and may your game always be lengthy.